ministry with Making Provisions for Ministries, hosted by Bishop Jerome Jones. This show is all about aiding ministries in financial growth and prosperity. Tune in weekly as we delve into strategies for expanding ministries and acquiring the necessary resources for survival in today's world. Discover practical solutions and actionable steps applicable to any congregation. Don't miss Making Provisions for Ministries with Bishop Jerome Jones. It's time to take your ministry to new heights.
Greetings and welcome to Making Provision for Ministries. I'm your host, Jerome Jones, coming to you on the same platform with Reaching the Next Generation, Jerome Jones Ministries, and Making Provision for Ministries. Today, I'm going to share with you another business opportunity that is going to continue to explain. In fact, it's not just a business opportunity. This is something unlike what you probably have seen available in years, if ever. And I want to share with you how you could simply take $100 and turn that $100 into thousands and even hundreds of thousands. Now, this is not a quick fix. This is not a quick get rich scheme to get you rich and promise you a lot of riches overnight. This is not a guarantee that you're going to make thousands upon thousands of dollars, but it is a process and an opportunity that if you take just a little of what you have and do what people have been doing for years upon years, putting it in a certain place and letting that money work for you. I'm going to show you how to do it with just a single $100 bill and watch that $100 bill over 3 years, 5 years, and 7 years give you a income, give you a return that you cannot afford to miss getting the knowledge of it. So if you don't know, stay tuned to the rest of this show and you're going to find out some things that I know is going to be interesting to you. And I want to encourage you to do your own due diligence. I've done mine and I've found it to be something that I want to spread to men and women everywhere. And so therefore I am sharing it with you. I'm going to show you my experience. I'm going to show you my back office into my accounts. And I'm going to show you when those accounts were started, what they were started with, and what money is in those accounts now, and what is projected to be in those accounts when the term of 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years has expired. This is exciting, and you need to know this. Now, I'm not going to try to oversell nothing. I'm not going to try to get you all hyped up. I'm just going to tell you the facts. And if you want to know the facts, then you're in the right place. If you want to know the hype, you need to keep going and go somewhere else, because I've been a part of seeing many presentations where it is overly hyped and didn't meet the reality of that hype in real experience. So I don't want you to get a false sense of hope here. That's one of the reasons I'm telling you that we're talking about a 3-year, 5-year, and 7-year plan. There are no in-betweens. There's nothing else to discuss when it comes to the terms. You make a decision for either a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, and a 7-year plan. And once you make that decision, you have nothing else to do. You have nothing else to do once you initiate that plan. You have nothing else. You don't have any labor. You don't have any products to buy, no products to sell, no work to do, no monthly payments to make, no tracking of the stock market, investments up and down in trading. You don't have anything to do but log into your account and watch your money grow. Watch it grow every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. watch your money grow. And when the term of which you selected, 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years is over, you will take home a lump sum of money. You will be able to withdraw your money from your own account, which will be either $35,000 for the 3 year term, $471,000 for this 5 year term, and nearly $1 million for the 7 year term. Now, I'm going to go through and show you how all this is done. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to walk through the entire process. I hope you stay on board, because this is going to be a time in which we're going to slow it down. I'm going to share the things with you. We want you to know it. We're not going to try to rush through it, because when you're making decisions that is such that will have such a life-changing experience, you need to be able to understand it. You need to be able to see it, to be able to understand it, and not be rushed. You know, if you were out trying to buy something, the last thing you want is somebody rushing you to the decision before you have time to understand all the factors that should be understood before you make the decision. So I'm not going to rush. I'm going to take my time and take you through it. And I hope if you will stay with this, I think that this will be one of the most meaningful financial seminars that you perhaps have ever attended. So now, if you got money in a 401k, if you got money in an IRA account, got money in a hedge fund, got money in your retirement pension plan, got money sitting in your savings account and checking account at the bank, I'm here to tell you that this plan here far excel all of them. So let's get started. I'm going to take you into the presentation. I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to see some slides, and I'm going to go right through them because I've discussed them in times before, but I'm going to go through them because I want you to stay tuned, because I'm going to open up my back office, show you where my accounts are. I have accounts that is up and running, and they are just an they create excitement just to see what's happening every day. And so I'm going to show you this, and I want you to understand, I'm Bishop Jerome Jones. I'm not in a vacuum. I'm not behind a camera that has no face. I am here where people know me from one end of this state to the next, and people know me around the country. People know me in other countries. I'm not hidden. I'm telling you that because so often, people can try to persuade you, but you never know who that person is behind that. I want you to know that I am an ordinary person that is taking the advantage of this opportunity, because I am fully persuaded that it is doing what it says and will yield what it projects. So let's take a trip now into this by me sharing my screen with you, and hope that I can last throughout this because I've had a full day. But nonetheless, I want to take us into now the presentation. It is cryptocurrency. Now, immediately, this may cause some to dismiss the presentation, because when crypto came on the scene, there were a lot of people saying, that's not good. That's not going to work. I don't want to know anything about cryptocurrency. I'm not interested. There's a lot of people said that also about Walmart. When Walmart had its shares up, people didn't want to buy them. When Windows had its shares up for 25 cents a share, people still said, I don't want them. I don't want to know anything about that. I don't believe that it's going to be profitable. When Fred Smith had his shares up for the Federal Express mail service, people laughed them down and said that it will never make it because it could not compete with the U.S. Postal Service. But yet we see they were all wrong. But there was a few that was right. And those that were right now are multimillionaires. So you can make your case for either side that you want to be on. I'm here to tell you that cryptocurrency is the way of the new currency universally around the world. You don't have to take my word for it. Just look at what other countries are doing. And then look at what America is doing. America have more money in cryptocurrency than they have in the US dollar. So that got to tell you something. And then the president of the United States has announced that cryptocurrency will be the universal currency of America and the world. Well, it's already have gotten years that has brought it forward, and people are having trillions upon trillions of dollars in cryptocurrency around the world. So let's take a trip. Cryptocurrency is the new way of the world when it comes to the future of money. In other words, Bitcoins and is what we're basically talking about, and other coins, forms of currency. You need to prepare for the future. You need to secure your family and loved ones now. Provide for your retirement. The average person is living paycheck to paycheck and cannot retire. Even I've watched it. I used to work at a Walmart. I watched people working at Walmart when they're 60, 70, 80 years old, trying to supplement their income. This is an excellent way where you will not just be supplementing your income, you'll totally replace it 10 times over, 100 times over. Pay off all your debt. Provide for your children's future. If you want to leave a legacy for your children, a legacy for your grandchildren, you want to leave a legacy for your ministry, for your mission, for your local church that reared you up in the Lord, this is a way that you can accomplish all of that. We're going to talk about it more later. Cryptex and cryptocurrency is a financial match made for you. So let's learn how to leverage cryptocurrency that gives you the best retirement plan. You are going to learn in this presentation some key benefits of being associated with the Cryptex project. Now, let me be clear. This is a project. It's already working. It's been going since 2016. And so you get the chance to be a part of the project. You're not starting a project. You're not creating a project. No, this project has been running since 2016, and it has amassed trillions of dollars already. And so this is not something that you're creating from the ground up. Let's look next here, getting started. Cryptex allows you to benefit from a starting balance of $30,240 or $43,200 and only pay a $100 activation fee. That's it in a nutshell, guys. If you want to know the long and short of it, that's it. You start out with a starting balance of either $30,240 or $43,200, and you only have to pay an activation fee of $100. You don't have to provide the $30,000 plus dollars, nor the $43,000 plus dollars. That is real money that is provided for you through the bank. And I'm going to tell you more about it later. Of course, you can read this disclaimer that I put here because the federal regulators require that we put a disclaimer on all things related to earned income, investments, and etc. So this is just an education that is presented and you must do your own research. What I share here is not in no way a guarantee that you will earn money. Only you can decide what to do with this information, or if it's not, or not, if not, it is right for you. So you can get the information, but if you don't do anything with it, nothing happens. So I can't guarantee that you're going to do anything with it. That's what that's basically telling you. Now, let's move on to the next slide. What is Cryptex and how does it work? So, really, what is it? Cryptex is a community-based project. I want you to keep that in mind. It is a community-based project where operation is anonymous. That means it's not public. There is no CEO. There's no company. There's no business and no location. It's a community that has no chief executive. That's no chief executive officer. It has no company name. It has no business and no location. You're not going to walk in from off the street to Cryptex. Cryptex utilizes a blockchain based DeFi staking protocol as its point of earning. Now, we're going to learn a lot about that. And you can also check the blockchain explorer.com out, and you'll see that it is the safest financial transactions that one can make in all the world. And it's happening all over the world, in all countries around the world. When something gets on the blockchain, it is as secure as any form of financial transaction, more secure. Cryptex maintains partnerships with banks, insurance companies, and individual account holders called participants, all working uniformly to generate profits for all parties involved. So we have Cryptex, we have banks, we have the insurance company, and we have participant, the account holders. 4 entities here. And Cryptex provides anonymity for all parties, operating since 2016. And at the time of this writing, there are over 1 million account holders, 1 million participants worldwide. There's much more than that now. So let's look a little bit further. The simple process with low risk. I don't want you to miss this here piece right here, because one of the things that keeps the average man from these kind of extraordinary opportunities is the high risk that is associated with it. Often there's often a risk that the average person comes to a conclusion that they can't afford to pay that risk. Well, this is the simple process here is with low risk. So let's look at it again. The players here is number one, your DeFi staking contracts. What is that? We'll talk about that later on, but it's a smart contract. The account holder that's people like you and me. The insurance company is in partnership also, and the banks in partnership. So all 4 of these parties makes up the partnership. Okay, and let's look at what role each one of them have. So let's just continue to go. What is DeFi staking? DeFi staking is the process of keeping your assets, being your money, in a smart contract in exchange for the accumulation of interest. So, in other words, you put your money in a smart contract, which means it's going to stay in that contract, just like putting your money in a certificate deposit. It's going to stay there for a specified period of time. Cryptech assets are locked for a contractual period of time in order to generate passive income. And what is that saying? That's saying that the money that is put in that smart contract is not accessible to anyone until the specified contractual period of time has run its course, whether it be 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years. You get to choose which one you want. But that money is locked there so that it can be used to invest. So it can be used to generate a passive income. It could never generate passive income if the money was being withdrawn and the account was being depleted. Okay, so those of us that's in the financial world and into savings and bonds and certificate deposits and 401ks and our pension fund, we know our insurance policies. We know that that money has to sit there for a specified amount of time before we can enjoy the benefits. But we also know when we get to enjoy the benefits, they are enormous, depending on what plan you have. Number 2 here, locked assets protects the blockchain network's ability to generate crypto profits. And as a reward, the stakes participants receive returns. Number 3, DeFi staking is considered the modern savings account, but much more lucrative because daily rewards are possible with staking. Cryptex averages a variable 0.1% to 0.3% per day from staking and compounds the interest daily for profitable returns. So every day, the interest is going to be compounded and yield a profitable return that is going to be placed directly in your account wallet. Every day you'll be able to see that happen. Now let's go on and further. What is the product / access? Well, of course, we talked about the DeFi hybrid contract. DeFi hybrid contract, this is a contractual agreement between the contract, the insurance company, and the bank. The contract contains the provision of capital in US dollars, which is the starting balance given by the bank to the contract for a term of 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years. So the money that you are making money off of is not your own money. I want you to think about that for a moment. You're making money without having to use your own money to make money. So if you're not using your own money, then you have no risk of losing your own money. So I really want you to understand this. I really want you to see this because I could go through it just and run right through it. But I want you to see this. The risk factor is what make this so attractive. I know that you and I have seen things in the past that promise great benefits, but equally to the promise of those great benefits, there had to be great sacrifices and great risks of loss. Well, the Cryptex project has answered that. They have answered that by having partnerships with the banks, with the insurance companies, with the participant, the account holders, and with Cryptex themselves. So they've answered those concerns and they've done it quite well. Users, which would be you and me, activate a contract. And each contract has a non refundable activation fee of only 100 US dollars deposited in cryptocurrency slash Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, which is used for distribution and inter-system operations. So you're going to take $100 and you're going to activate one of these contracts that has either $30,240 in it, or it has $43,200 in it, whichever one you choose. The 30,000 is for 3 years. The 43,000 can be activated for 5 years or 7 years. You just choose which one. But that's what your $100, once you activate it, now Cryptex manages this money that the banks have given the contract as a startup balance working capital. Again, it's not your money. You have not put not a dollar of your money into that investment pool. Not $1 of your money goes into that investment pool. So you're not having to worry about investments. You're not having to worry about stocks trading and buying low and selling high. You don't have to worry about anything at all, because once you set up this account, your work is finished for the 3-year period or the 5-year period or the 7-year period. All you need to do now is just watch your money grow every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and then receive your money at the end of your contract. Now, look at it. Who's the account holder? With only $100 US activation fee, you can secure a 3 or 5 or 7 year DeFi staking contract, which contains starting balance for the 3 years is $30,240. For the 5 and 7 years, $3,200. Even is considered an account holder and may open an account anonymously, just email upon registration. Starting balances compound over length of the term. So the banks are supplying 30 plus thousand or 40 plus $1,000 on the first day that you activate contract. And that money is locked in. And it is that money that work in the different markets, generating passive income and paying you into your locked where you got to put in a few more dollars. No one said you got to watch the stock market. You got to trade. You don't have nothing else to do. I got these accounts. I got them going right now. I'm going to show you them. But I want you to really hear from objective position as well. Let's look at the next slide. The insurance company insures the wallet for loss and default. Developed by the partner insurance company specifically for Cryptex project. The insurance do this. Well, they got good reasons. The insurance company stands to benefit financially by receiving secure monthly payment from making profits of every single contract. They receive without interruption the entire term of that contract. So if it's a 3-year contract, the insurance company is getting $210 every month for that 3-year contract. That's over $6,000. And they're getting that money on every contract. Now, if it's a 5-year contract, they're getting $300 a month for 5 months in a row. That's $18,000 for one contract. So the insurance company got good reasons to do this. I'm so glad they did, because it's what really attracted my attention and makes it so now that we are not at risk. That's what I want you to always keep that in mind, because one of the things, as I said earlier, that stops people from taking advantage of good opportunity more often, the risk factor is so high, they just can't bring themselves to take that risk. But this is not the case. Your risk here has been reduced, and you could get on board with this in just a matter of time. So let me see if I can go to the next. I'm trying to get us to the next one. So let me move this over, and I'll be able to get to the next slide. There it is. The bank, based on the insurance coverage, the partner bank they work with provides the capital for the contract, either 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years. So a question again, why would the bank do this? Same reason, they got good reasons. The bank benefits financially by receiving secure annual interest from the staking profits without interruptions for the entire term of the contract. This is automated, it removes the human factor, and it guarantees collection. So the banks now, they're making pretty good too, because if the money's set in their banks and they dibble it out in different projects or different loans, they stand a chance to make sometimes up to 2%. But you know, on this project, every contract, they're making 6.75%. You know, the banks love that, and I love it too, because the banks is fronting the money. That is a relief for me. And then we got the insurance company guaranteeing to the bank that if the worst situation happened, we'll cover the loan. You're not exposed financially. The account holder is not exposed financially, because the account holder don't have any financial risk. Now, you know, I just knowing that is appealing to me. So now let's look at the next one. What does all this mean for you? We talked about the bank, we talked about the Cryptex, we talked about the insurance company, but what does it mean for you? Well, let's take a look at the contract expectations and the power of compounding. And if you don't know much about compounded interest, let me say that a little money set aside for a specified period of time with the right, management can multiply into the thousands and hundreds of thousands in a relatively short period of time. And that's what you're going to see with the Cryptex project. So let's look now at the 3-year contract. You have $30,240 that the bank loaned to the contract. And the staking term is 36 months. The insurance fee is $210 per month. The handling fee, which is handled by Cryptex, is $30 a month. The loan interest to the bank is a variable 6.75% per year. The staking rewards are paid daily. The compounding, does it compound? Yes. The contract fee, the activation fee is $100 US. The deposit is done with cryptocurrency. And if you see the asterisk there, it's letting us know that all of these fees, processing, the annual fee, the insurance fee, they're paid by the generated staking profits. You never have to pay a dime. Now, I don't know about you, but these are the factors that makes this project head and shoulders above any others. Because I don't have to pay any of the fees. I don't even have to manage it. I don't have to do anything but watch my income grow every day. In 3 years, with these funds compounding every day, a starting balance of $30,240, and you don't have to take our word for it, just do the math on a calculator, will be approximately $65,337.28. That's what it will have grown to approximately. Now, you say, well, that's not 30 some thousand, that's 60 some thousand. Yes, but now we've got to have that $65,000, have it dispersed. And this is how that is done. First, the $30,240 is returned back to the bank because it was a loan. Now, just look at this for a moment. The bank made out like a bandit because they got 6.75% interest, annual interest, and then they got 100% of the loan back. So they got really good. And so now that means that that loan has been paid. And number two, the user now is left with $35,097 change for activating a $100 contract. Now you got it. That all I did was activate the contract and then begin to watch my money grow every day. Look at the 5-year contract. The capital that we started with, bank gave $43,200. The ended back with $514,687. That's what it had compounded to over 5 years. more interest it earns every day when it's compounded daily. Again, the bank gets back the $43,200 because it was a loan. And the user, which is the participant, gets the $470,487 for activating a $100 contract for 5 years. So you see, there is a vast difference between the 3 years and 5. That's what this slide is just telling. The 3 year will give you $35,000 at the end of the 3 years, but the 5 year will give you $471,000 at the end of 5 years. Each contract compounds interest on starting balance and averages between 0.1 and 0.3 per day or higher variable. All of the same $100 activation fee, and you can have multiple contracts. Now, guys, let me come here, and I want us to think about this. Is remarkable. Now, there's a link right now. If you go there, you'll also be able to see another webinar presentation, and then you can click on getting started, and you click on start, you can sign up and get a free account. Not to do anything, just account. And all that does is say you have your Cryptex a free account, so that when you get ready to activate a contract, you can make a deposit into that account, and then you can go ahead and start watching that account grow, watch it just get higher and higher every day. I want to show us I'm going to go into the back office of my accounts. I want you to see this. I want you to understand that this, I have taken that step, and I know that in all of my years, I have not seen the like of something like this in many years. I started in the financial industry ago and happened to make astounding investments. Some be a part of some really beneficial projects I didn't capitalize off of when I could have. But so to no exposure, I am overwhelmed to get again. Let me get to my accounts, and we're going to go inside and take a look inside of my own account. I'm trying to make sure I can locate it here. And as soon as I get it, I'll let you know I got it. But looks like I'm going to have to log completely out and sign back in. Looks like I'm going to have to. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead while we're here. And I think I'm going to, no, I have it right here. So let me go and share my screen again. I want you to be able to go with us into the back office. And it may require me to log out and log back in, guys, but if it do, I will. No big deal. I'll just log out and log back in. Let's see. So what you're looking at here is in my back office, and I want you to see this here. I want to explain it to you. Let me see if I can go right to my wallet overview first. And nope, see, it's going to cause me to have to log back in. Let me see, will it do that? I might not should have done that since I was already there, and it's not letting me log in. I had this problem before. Once you leave it open for a while, you have to log all the way out. Okay, now it got me back in. Thank the Lord. Okay, now let's look at this. I want you to see, this is my holding account right here. See what it says? It says overview, balance, wallet available. There's only $3.19 in this wallet. Okay, but this is the wallet that I use, that I fund, put money in this wallet in cryptocurrency, and I use that money to activate the contracts that I want. So I want you to see that. Now let's look at this figure right here. This is the overview total stake balance. That means there's $121,188.69. Now that is real US dollars. That's what that is. That's not just something imaginable, but that is real US dollars. Let's break it down. You'll see right here, I have 3 of these. The total DeFi contracts is 3 right there. And the bank now, the loan in the staking pool is $116,640. That's how much money the banks gave these 3 contracts, because one of them is a 3-year and 2 of them is a 5-year. So the banks gave $30,240 for the 3-year contract. And then it gave $43,200 for each of the 5-year contracts, which means the bank is allowing me to use for these 3 contracts $116,640 of the bank's money, and not $1 of this money is my own. I want you to really let that sink in. Now, let's look underneath here. Since I've started this, this is my real money profit, $4,540 as of today. Now, let me tell you that I have not had the 5-year contracts long. I started the 3-year contract in December of 2024, late December, around the 27th or 28th. And then on March the 22nd, I started one 5-year contract. And then on April the 27th, I started a second 5-year contract. I activated it. So therefore, I have not had these contracts long. I've had to do no work. I've had to do no purchases, no selling. I've had to do no meetings. I've had to do absolutely nothing. And I've got $4,500 sitting in my account, growing money. Okay. And this is what I'm talking about. Now, that $4,500 is added to the $116,000 for a total balance of $121,188.69. That's the amount that is there today that will compound tomorrow and pay me another set of interest payments. Every day I'm going to see this happen. Look what the last payment was made today. That's this figure right here, $199. I got that from doing that. Now tomorrow it's going to be $200 and some dollars. It's going to increase because the total amount that is being compounded increases every day. So the total amount that I'm going to receive will also be increasing. Okay, so that's the nature of compounding daily. Now you can see it gives us what we made last week and what we made the whole month of the last month. And the reason these are close is because I recently started the 5-year contracts. Before, as it was early on, I only had the 3-year contract and 1 5-year contract. But now we're going to see as I go further. You can look over here. You can see that I have a total of 3 DeFi hybrid contracts that are active. I can get as many as 80 contracts. Okay, so when I talk about how lucrative this is, I'm not exaggerating. Each person can have as many as 80 contracts, but they can only have 1 account. If you have more than 1 account, you will forfeit all of your accounts. So if you're considering this, don't get multiple accounts. They call that staking. Not staking, but stacking. And if you get caught stacking, you have committed a fraudulent operation with a financial institution, and you will lose all of your interest. So don't do that. And when you can have 80 contracts, there's no need to have more than 1 account. So let's just do it follow the rules, and you'll have no problem. Okay, now let me see what else we can glean from here. You see this figure here is telling me, you can see this a little bit bigger, but I want you to pay attention to this. Says overview profits locked. That means that I can't touch them. That means that Cryptex can't touch them. That means that nobody can get close to this money until the term of the contract expire. And when the term of the contract expires, I will receive the balance of this money once the loan is paid back to the bank. Okay. And I'm excited about that process because I don't have to do any work. So you can see here, again, that's $4,548.69 in US dollars. Now, I want us to look at active DeFi staking, active staking here, and show you a little bit more. This is a page I was on, and just going to state it here a little bit more clearly. You can see the $121,000 as the total balance right here, $121,180. Well, this amount right here, $116,000, is what the bank gave as the total loan. See, that's what the bank contributed as starting capital. And since I've had this, I have earned $404,548. And today my earnings were $199. These are the total profits from staking. Okay. Now let's look down here though, and we see that the active staking balance for the 36-month contract, the loan amount was $30,240, and now the total staking amount is $32,398.90. That means that I have a profit from that 3-year contract of $2,158.90. And today I was paid $30 from that contract. Now, that contract started in the month of December, the 27th or 28th, 2024. You'll see that as I go further. Let's look at the 5-year now. The 5-year contract, active 5-year contract, is the amount that the loan gave for these 2 5-year contracts is $86,400. What's in that account now? $88,789 is locked in there now. That's what will compound tomorrow, and I'll get another payment. So far, I have made $2,389.79 right here off of those 2 5-year contracts. Now, remember, I just got one of them 2 days ago, and I've only had the other one 5 weeks. Okay, so that's amazing to have that kind of growth with no financial exposure on my part. Today, those 2 5-year contracts paid me $169.01. So let's look at the rest of the data here. You'll see that this is the Cryptex Hybrid DeFi 60. This is the one that we activated. Here is the contractual account. Here is the date in which we can see this account is active, and the start date of it was 2025 March 22nd. That's when we started this. The end date, when this contract expire, it will expire March 21st, 2030. As of today, the total profits is $2,238.45. The profit that was paid today was $86.80. We look at the second 5-year contract, which just started on April the 27th, 2025. That's just a couple of days ago. It will end April the 26th, 2030. So far, in a couple of days, it has paid $151.33. It paid $82.21 today. Now we see this 3-year contract started right here, 12/28/2024. It ends 12/27/2027, and it has made up as of this day $2,158.90. Paid another $30 today, and every day these numbers are going to go up, and that's what I'm talking about. You can watch your account just explode every day. You can watch it increase and increase and increase. Now, I know people will say, well, you got years to go. Well, if you purchase a CD, you got to have that certificate for the duration of the time span that you made a contract to purchase it. So that's nothing new. The beauty about this, however, is that yes, you can choose a 3, 5, or 7 years, but no matter which year you choose, the activation fee is just $100. And no matter which plan you choose, you don't have to do any work whatsoever. And this reduces the risk and increases the sustainability. Because if you had to do some work, chances are you might not make it. If you had to manage the account, chances are you might not make it. All of the things that puts you at a disadvantage has been removed. And now, when we talk about reducing the risk and providing the benefit, then this project is certainly doing just that. Now, I'm going to come back again, and I think I'm going to come back if I can get back to where I need it to go. Let's see, can I go here? Just to give you a little bit more graphic setting. Let me see what the charts will show us here. Sometimes we can see things visually a little bit more, and they give us all the data. I love the way we got access to our own portal. We can check it out every day. You see, looking at this is 40 $45,438.45. That is locked in the staking pool. The bank gave $43,200. I have a profit of $2,238.45. I was paid $86.80 today. See, that's what I love, being able to look at this and see it in real time. I also wanted to point out that here are some of the facts that we have already covered. And that is that the staking term is 1,824 days. That's 5 years. The loan secured is 100%. The daily profits is paid daily, yes. The monthly insurance fee, because this is a 5-year, is $300 a month. The monthly fee for handling is $30 a month. The loan interest rate here, look what the loan interest rate per year, the loan interest per year is rather $2,376. That's what the bank is getting for 5 years. Each year they're going to get this amount of money. And so now we see what the total loan is being 100% secured. The amount that is secured is $43,200. That's what the bank loaned. We see the total profit here is $2,238.45. So we see the start date again, the end date again, the last amount that was paid as a profit. You get all the data. You're going to get it all. This tells us how many days we got left. Got 1,787 days left. We're ending with a net profit of 5.18%. We got all the fees are paid. There is no unpaid fees. How much is paid every month on this account is $330. That's paid every month. I don't have to do anything with it. I just sit back and watch it get done. This is a chart that shows how much it grew. It grew 0.12% here, but on this one, 0.18%. Here, 0.19%, 0.17%, 0.14, 0.12, 19 rather, 0.15, 0.12, back to 0.19, 0.17, 0.18, and 0.19. These are just a sample of the last 15 days, but every day we're seeing the profits that is being dumped into my 3 contracts, are earned by my 3 contracts and dumped into my Cryptex wallet account. Well, I think that will do us on that page, and we're going to come back now to you. And I hope now that you have been able to see, I'm thinking, am I on or not? Let me see. Yes. I don't know whether I'm on or not, but let's see if I can get on here. I should be back on the screen right now, but I'm not seeing it. And so if something is off, I hope that we can correct that. So, nevertheless, I want to say I hope that you have gotten a real inside look at this project. I hope that you've gotten a real inside look at this project and understand what it's capable of doing. The things that we're talking about here is to earn you income without you having to be exposed financially and without you having to do any work. And this sets you up for the best retirement plan you've ever seen. Well, I'm going to leave you right there. I'm Jerome Jones saying, if you go with God, I know He will surely go with you. And until the next time, have yourself a Jesus-filled day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Making Provisions for Ministries, hosted by Bishop Jerome Jones. Join us every week as we discuss aiding ministries in financial growth and prosperity. This is your opportunity to delve into strategies for expanding ministries and acquiring the necessary resources for survival in today's world, and discover practical solutions and actionable steps applicable to any congregation. So until next time, God bless from your friends at Making Provisions for Ministries with host Bishop Jerome Jones.